I'll be like,
You gonna be like, come up here then.
I'm gonna be like, come here, I got an 8-pound weight, I'm about to hit you with.
I guess we're done.
Yeah. Hi guys, and welcome to tonight's show. I'm Zeleny.
And I'm Wendy.
Before we continue, we have the rights to all the music's being played. The topics may not be suitable for children under the age of 18 unless you are their parent and allow it.
We're sponsored.
Oh yes, we're sponsored by Zell's Total Body Sculpting and Brows and Blush by Zell. I'm sorry.
It's Friday. It's been a long day. Just ignore us.
Yeah. You know.
Well, I mean, not completely ignore us because clearly we're gonna have a conversation, but
Yeah. We're going to start the show off by doing our shots. We hope you have yours in hand. Let us know what you're drinking. We want to know. It's time to stock up, so I want to know what I should buy. But we are taking a shot of...
I mean, we are open to suggestions, and we also accept bottles. Whoever wants to send some. I'm just saying.
But don't be sending me nothing nasty.
Oh, God. Can you imagine someone sends like Vladimir?
I'll be like, I'll put water in the cup and be like, oh, it's amazing.
Send it back to summer.
Right?
You didn't say what you were having.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee Honey Jack.
That was disgusting.
It's not disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Thank you. You think Honey Jack's nasty?
You don't like it. I like it.
Oh my
I don't
God.
like
Have
it.
you ever, like, by itself or mixed or?
By itself.
I like it by itself.
Me too. I feel like it goes down
That's
so
the only way
smooth.
to drink it. You can't mix that.
No,
No,
to me,
lemonade. Lemonade and Honey Jack.
to me, it tastes like a stick of cinnamon going down.
That's Fireball.
I know. It's
Well,
like,
Yeah, I know. That's horrible.
I don't know. It does not taste like honey. It's really strong. It has a strong.
I don't care for a Fireball.
Yeah, my face. Yeah, my face did say it all.
I was like, I do not care for Fireball. That I'm like,
I can do it when you mix it to make the cinnamon toast crunch.
I mean,
Yeah, rum chata.
I'm taught not to waste alcohol. So if they're like, take a shot, I'm like, yes, ma'am. But
For all of yous, we have a live audience today, so we'll be looking to the side. You'll be hearing comments. And then we also want you to comment on the side as far as what we're talking about. So don't be shy. I know we were on a little hiatus, so everybody's kind of jumping in slowly, but we want to hear from you guys. Let's talk about our first topic. Apparently this one really it hit a couple of our viewers the wrong way, and we heard it. I mean, they heard it back, but we heard it and we want to talk about it. So it's, how long do you wait before you introduce your children to somebody you're dating? First of all, if me and my significant other, well, my ex, we talk about it and I'm like, hey, because obviously you want to co-parent, and we don't live in a perfect world where everybody's going to co-parent together. If that were the case, there wouldn't be courts, there wouldn't be mediators. But if you're an adult and you have children together with somebody, you want to go ahead and you want to make sure you're able to have a relationship with them when it comes to your children. Not them per se, because at this point when they're an ex, who cares? Like, you really don't care whether they live or die. But it's the truth. Like, I don't know.
If that's the parent of your child, you want them to be alive.
Well, right, exactly.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to feel like I love my kids, but I don't want to comfort them because their other parent died. Like,
no,
damn.
but what I'm saying, exactly, because there's children involved, you want to make sure if the parent isn't okay, the child is not okay. That's always your mentality. But if you didn't have those children there, you wouldn't give a shit about the next guy. That's what I'm saying. You don't care whether they live or die. That's what I mean. But when you have children involved, if the parent, like the father of my child, is not okay, then that means my child is not okay. Mm-hmm. So you got to look at it that way. So when we posted that, we got backlash. Well, we're here to discuss it. How long do you think... I'm trying to cross my legs. How long do you think you should wait before you introduce the next person that you're dating to your child? What do you guys think? Send us a message. 6 months, 3 months, a year. What do you think is an appropriate amount of time before you introduce them to your new partner?
That is, I think it all varies, because sometimes you could date someone for like 6 months and be like, I don't know if I see a future. And if you're not sure, why are you gonna?
You might not even know them. But you
Yeah.
know them, right?
Exactly.
You know someone for a year and you don't even know half of anything about them.
Right.
So you have to be comfortable in knowing that person, trusting that person around your kids for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw, like, it was definitely trending on TikTok I think it was last week, about the mom of 3 who was married to this dude. He's not the father of her oldest. For like 14 years, when she goes to change the light bulb and saw a camera in the shower in the bathroom, that the husband put it in there.
And he was taking videos of the kids.
Of the 16-year-old daughter.
Oh, that's just
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how long.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly. You could be with someone for years
Okay.
and you never know.
So you, as a person, but how would you feel if your ex?
Yeah.
What would you tell them?
So-
Don't bring them any sooner than what?
Okay, so I actually did go through this.
Okay.
So, father, hey, I know you just broke up with yada yada. Well, I'm talking to somebody. Well, don't introduce them to the kid yet. Like,
Yeah.
let's wait, because you're only talking. Like, I don't want them to grow up thinking it's okay to go from person to person to person to person. Like, I want them to understand, like, you need time to heal in between relationships. Because
Right.
regardless, it impacts you some way. Oh, okay, yeah. You know what that father did? No lie. Like, less than a month, he was like, so-and-so being so-and-so. And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh.
I wanted to fight him so bad, and it didn't help that his new one is like, I'm like, they could be sisters. She's that fucking young.
See, I've never had to experience this, so I'm grateful for that. But me as a person, I'd be like, can you wait at least 6 months? I think 6 months is a good amount of time before you ask them, even though, because you're asking a different person. You're asking somebody else to do something for you when it comes to your children. So for me, I would have to feel comfortable enough with you. For you, I don't care if it took 2 years. You don't meet my kids, you don't meet my kids. I don't feel comfortable with you meeting my kids. But for me to ask the next person, at least give it 6 months before you know who this person is. At least get to know their character, because they say people can only fake the funk for 6 months before their true personality comes out. So someone says it depends. This new person may put on a funk and act like they like kids and they really don't. I don't know. 6 months is too soon.
It does vary on the person. Like, it depends on your relationship with the person and stuff like that. It's just,
for me, I probably would wait. Like, if I feel comfortable in 3 months, because I got to know this person, we clicked, I know a lot about him, I've met his family. For me, I would be like, okay, 3 months I will. But now if my ex asks me don't until 6 or don't until 9 or don't until a year, I think I would respect. So the person that kind of came at us in like behind the scenes said, if your ex asked you to not introduce the children to them, it's because they're trying to control your life.
I think it depends on the situation. Now, if you are proposing that to me, I expect you to as well adhere to it. So if you say a year, you're fucking waiting a year as well.
Right.
Now, if you're telling me a year and 2 days in, you're introducing someone else, then I'm gonna look at it like, yeah, you're trying to control me.
Right.
But again, that's a conversation, and hopefully, when there's kids involved, we're all fucking adult enough to have the conversation.
Right.
But we all know how the world works, and it's not always like that.
So, and I was like, not everybody looks at it like that. Like if she was like really trying to control, like you can't have my kids around anybody that you're dating.
Yeah.
I could see that being controlling. But if she tells you, I want you to wait 6 months until you're sure of that person, I don't find that to be controlling.
As long as she adheres to it as
Right.
well. Because that's the thing. Like, if it's good for me, then it's got to be good for you. Like, if I'm agreeing, you got to...
Right.
It will apply to you as well. It's only fair.
People that are co-parenting, I feel like if you both do an agreement, you should stick to the agreement. And if you want to modify it later on, be like, hey, I know we said 6 months or whatnot, but I kind of really want to introduce her. I feel like we're doing good. That's where communication comes into play for the child.
So on my behalf, I can speak on experience. If I'm talking to someone usually and I foresee that we're going to be together for a while, you're going to probably meet the father before you meet the kids. Not because I need his fucking approval, just so that, like, hey,
this person's around my
is-
children.
yes.
Our children.
like, this is just about co-parenting and clear communication. Like, hey, this is who I'm planning on introducing the kids to. I want you to get to know each other. No, you don't have a fucking say. Because at the end of the day, I'm dating. But this is supposed to help give you a peace of mind.
Right.
So that we build that trust and we have that communication open.
So then I put the example. I said, okay, so what you're saying is when the kids are with you, you're going to do whatever you want. And she can do whatever she wants when she's with the kids. Now, let's just say a guy or a girl, because we know it can happen with both genders.
Yeah.
Let's just say the person you're dating is now touching your son inappropriately, molesting him, and the girl comes at you and says, oh, why did you introduce her? You didn't even know her. Well, I'm going to throw in your face, well, why are you asking me? I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, because if you're questioning me, it's because you're trying to control me. No, again, she's not saying don't go around another woman with my kids. Wait until you introduce. Wait and don't are two different words that people just don't understand.
And it's especially, because you hear a lot about little girls having like daddy issues and stuff.
Right.
So especially if you have a daughter and if they see their father going from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, they're going to grow up thinking like, hey,
that's cool.
It's okay if I just jump from dude to dude.
Right.
Because that's what he set the example as.
Right. She says, touch my kid and we're having problems. I agree. But to that person, it was like, no, whatever she does on her time with the kids, that's her. Whatever I do with the kids on my time, you can't say anything. I don't agree, because the kids are not yours. Even if they're with you for a certain amount of time, the children are ours.
Yeah.
They're not yours.
They're always going to be ours.
So if something happened to them, then the guy is quick to be like, oh, you let it happen because you didn't get to know him well enough. But wait a minute. You just told me you didn't care what I did on my time. So I can introduce the kid to whoever I want. See, that's like a double standard.
And unfortunately, you do see situations where people will try to manipulate other partners
Right.
by doing that. Like, oh, I don't want no other bitch, or I don't want no other dude around my kids, blah, blah, blah. Like, they already got a mom, they don't need another one.
Yeah.
I mean, we all hear it all the time.
I mean, you're always going to have that. So, and not everybody's mature. Everybody's immature sometimes. You have children having children. It all depends. Who are you picking to be the mother of your child or the father of your child? You are.
Yeah.
You should have waited 6 months before you got to know that person better.
Sometimes you're just stupid. That's it. You got caught up in the moment. Let's act like we ain't been there.
I didn't make that baby alone. I had help. We need to come to a mutual point and understanding.
And
I agree.
I agree on that one as well.
I
mean,
agree.
It's better if I can introduce and we can get along and you can get along with my current partner. That's better. Because then I don't need to worry about like, oh man, I gotta take the kids over there and he can't come along because they don't get along.
Or could you imagine, you don't even know this girl really well, and she's sitting here doing your daughter's hair, and she's like yanking her hair. Like, I'm sorry, it's passed through my head multiple times, like, yo, I'm about to just knock this little kid out really quick, like, real quick. But imagine if you're dating somebody and she doesn't like children, or she doesn't like your daughter, and she's like, I'll do her hair. Next thing you know, she's yanking. And then some people wrote us in the comment section to trust your kid because your kid will tell you. Will tell you when something's wrong. I agree. Like, my son at 3 or 4 years old could tell me that he didn't like somebody. But what if she's 2, 1, getting her hair done? She doesn't know. She's thinking that the pulling is coming from the knots in her hair, when it may not be.
Well, and it's not even just the age. It's like, yeah, if your kid comes and tells you, but if they're being threatened, or if they're like, oh, if you tell, I'm going to tell your dad not to get you anymore.
Right.
Like,
Kids
depending on
are
what
small.
age, they're very impressionable. And they're going to look at every adult like, you're an adult. Like, you have power.
Yeah.
It's not till they get older when they realize, like, hey, what I say holds value as well.
What if she's scared? What if they can't speak? Exactly. I mean, you have that not even with children. You have that with old-ass adults.
Well, there was this whole debacle a while back where this lady was engaged to this dude. He had a kid. It's not hers. She was like, before he proposed to her, loved the kid. Then she ended up pregnant and was like, I don't want the kid around. I want him to sign the rights over to the mom.
Yeah, I know.
And she was like, and her thought process was like, because she's going to take attention away from our kid now. Like, that's the pass on the current, what ours currently matters more than what he has. And it's like, and you see, even though they dated for a couple of years, he still didn't know.
You just don't know. There's no timing. People can change overnight, even if it's 10, 15 years later.
Exactly. Yeah. There's like, it's a chance you're taking. It's a gamble.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you want to be the most prepared?
Like the stepmom that deleted the little kid out of the picture and just had her family in the
picture.
Yo,
that was so fucked up.
And cut out the stepchild.
Yeah.
So it's like, they had how many other kids together, and I'm sure it was a couple years later, and she still went and did that. So
yeah,
you just never know.
You really don't know who.
And it's a big ass gamble.
People can change overnight.
It's a big ass gamble, especially when you have kids. So it's like, is that something you want to take a chance on? Why would you? Because it's not only about like, oh, at the moment I feel good, but down the line you could be traumatizing your kid for life, or fucking them up mentally.
I'm always defensive with my kids. I'm like, what? You look at them? What? You rolled your eyes at my son? What?
I'm like that all the time. You're so overprotective. It's not that I'm overprotective. My child doesn't have a voice to certain adults.
Yeah, he might not want to speak up.
Right.
He might be
so guess what? I'm here for that. I'll speak up for him.
Exactly. I'm supposed to advocate for my children. If I'm not, then what's the purpose of me having children?
Right.
Exactly. I think sometimes when women they fall in love, they become oblivious to that.
They become centered on the men.
Men as well. Not so much women. Men too become like, oh, I'm gonna do whatever she says, or I want to keep the peace. And at the end of the day, I'm not trying to control my ex, but what you do with our kids, that's I do have a say in that. Even though you don't have to, but you should be considerate. Why wouldn't you want? If I'm co-parenting with you, why wouldn't you want to come to an agreement with me?
For your child,
right?
And if you don't see it that way, then you shouldn't have had a child.
A parent has
what's best for your child.
Yeah, a parent has to be overprotective in that case. As parents, we are advocates for our children.
And I agree 100. See, so I really don't share much personal stuff here. So I have, my oldest doesn't speak to her dad. So he has a girlfriend. When they had their argument, I stayed out of it because it's not mine. I'm like, all right, I need you to learn to stand on your own 2 feet, speak your mind. Now, if you need support, I'll be there. Like, I tell my kids that all the time. Like, if there's certain issues that I think they should learn how to handle themselves, I'll throw them in the deep end. Like, you guys go do this, but I will be here. So they haven't spoken for months. Well, now like a year at least.
Wow.
Because his dumbass, well, I can't say that because maybe in his head, like logically, he had reason. Went and asked his girl for advice, which I understand. That's you guys been together. Like at this point, this is like basically almost your wife. You guys live together, and she advised him one way. Well, he didn't come talk to me until like months later and talk to me, and I'm like, dude, like, I know our daughter the best.
You should have came to me and spoken to me about our child.
Exactly. I'm like, I know our daughter best. I understand they have similar personalities, but I know our daughter is best. Why would you not come seek my opinion, or at least ask for it as well? Because now look at the rift you caused.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, like I said, I've never had to go through that experience, but I do think, I mean, the father of my child is, you know,
somewhere. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I don't care, but I'm thankful that he stayed away far and wasn't in and out, just out of my kid's life doing whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that, I mean, before I sat down and I said, look, either you're going to be in his life and you're going to be present, because I was all for accommodating him. I would say you can have him 2 days out of the week and on the weekend. The weekends you don't have him, you can have him 3 days out of the week.
Yeah.
Every other weekend. That way you can have your time. I can have my
You're
time.
trying to make him as
I
involved as
was
possible.
right. I was like, but what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna come in and out of his life whenever you feel like it, whenever it's comfortable for you. So you either
And
have
make
to
empty promises.
Right. So I said you're either in or you're out. He was out. I've never been bothered again, which is a great thing. So I've never, but I'm pretty sure I would always find a way to co-parent because of the child.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's not about you. I don't care what you do. By all means, you could sleep with half of Allentown on your time, but when you're with my child, you're not going to introduce him and you're not going to teach him those values.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. All right. If you have another comment to say about this topic, you're more than welcome to throw it in there. We'll always go back and we'll read it. We'll discuss it. We're going to move on to the next subject, which is...
Do you want to do the parent one just because it kind of segues into this one?
Sure.
All right, so the next topic. Can you still be in a relationship and be considered a single parent?
Yes.
Is that a possible thing?
Yeah.
Someone in the audience said yes. Well, two people in the audience said yes.
Yes.
I agree. I mean, if these are my kids and they have a dad, I'm not sitting here expecting you to play like daddy. You're going to be involved in your life, yes, but that's definitely a discussion we're going to have. Now, there are people that are with other people, like even with the father of their children, and they're in a relationship, but the father or the spouse, whatever, however you want to name it, because it's not just men and women, but
The parent.
aren't involved in the children at all, and they live in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, yeah, you're with the father of your children, but they only have you because they can't rely on the spouse to do anything because he doesn't go to school conferences, doesn't help with the homework,
He doesn't help you out here in the house,
Yeah.
doesn't help you with the kids, doesn't make the decisions. There was something that I saw online. It said, you know how a woman sometimes with a newborn, she's tired and she ends up like either falling asleep with the baby here or, you know, how the father now records and is like, look at what she's doing with the baby. And that's your spouse. So you as a spouse, why aren't you taking the baby and helping out with the baby? It's not only the mother's responsibility to do that. It's a newborn, okay, but it doesn't mean it's attached to its mother all the time. There's things that the mother needs to do if she's like breastfeeding.
Yeah.
But again, you're with somebody, you're now leaving her all the responsibility and you're just there doing nothing. You're playing on the PlayStation. Or you're playing on the Xbox, or you're detailing your car. And she's left to do the homework, she's left to cook, she's left to clean, she's left to do everything that basically a single person does, but it just has you in the house.
And let's be honest, in this day and age, most mothers are working as well too.
Right.
So it's not like she just gets to come home. She's at home all day dealing with the children. She's working, coming home, dealing with the children, cleaning and keeping up and everything while you get to go work and come back and
then sometimes I was also reading online. A lot of people won't leave or won't actually become a single parent, even though they're doing everything as a single parent, because they cannot afford the one income household.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If I'm with somebody and I feel like I'm a single parent or I'm a single person in a household, yeah, that shit's not gonna last too long.
We separate, and if I gotta like strip or sell drugs or whatever to make that income, I'm doing something.
You're opening up that OnlyFans.
Exactly.
Right? Might as well. If you're doing it by yourself, might as well be by yourself. Because again, you have the spouse. It's just turning into an extra child that you're taking care of.
Not a roommate, but yeah, because all they're doing is paying the financially they're helping, but everything else they're not.
Yeah.
So why bother? Sometimes that emotional and mental toll is not worth the money.
No. You can get, you would have to get 2 jobs, and then that's where you take the kids and you parent, and then I'm going to work a second job to do what I need to do in my household. But why stay with the person?
And I think depending like culture, some people just stay just to be able to be like, well, I'm still with so and so. Like it's like bragging rights instead of being like, oh, I'm a single parent. It's like, oh, well, the father of my children lives with me.
Yeah, or yeah, we're together still. Yeah, they have both mom and dad. No. They have mom or they have dad.
He's physically there, but he ain't there nowhere else.
He's not helping you.
Yeah.
But then again, they want to judge you. They want to judge you. Like I can't. This generation is weird to me. It's weird. You have women fighting for men who are not even home helping you. They're out in the street doing whatever it is that they want to do, or even if they're at home but not doing their own thing, and yet you want to fight for that man. It makes me want to take something and smack you with it. An 8-pound dumbbell.
That's it.
Just knock some sense into you. Like, damn.
I wish that's all we could do that. That'd be so awesome. Like, if we like, common sense come on? Yeah, good.
Yeah, or
Let's
you
keep it moving.
see, I would be like, common sense button. Or it's like, even with household chores. The mom is not left to like bathe the kids, feed the kids. No. If I fed and I'm cleaning up the kitchen, you as a father, grab the children, put them in the room. Or put them in the bath.
And that's the other thing. I shouldn't have to tell you either. Like, we're adults here. If you see a need, just fucking get it done. You don't wait till you be like, well, what can I help you with? Well, the whole house is a mess. Where do you want to fucking start?
It's like, what can I help you? Do you not see? Do we not live in the same? But then people tell me, oh, it's how they're raised. It's their culture. Yeah, no. Yeah,
yes, we may be raised a certain way, but we have the option to grow up and change that. Like, we're adults. Just because we're raised one way doesn't mean it's ingrained, but we can always change that.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we're stuck the way we are. Like, that's not where growth comes from.
No. It's easy. You as a child, you saw your mom working hard. And she probably busted her ass. Why would you want to do the same thing for the woman that's next to you? Or if you're working, she's working, and you come home and now she's cooking, she's getting the kids ready, she's doing the schoolwork. Why wouldn't it just click in your head? Oh, let me help with this, let me do this, let me do that.
Oh, while she's doing her homework, let me start dinner.
Yeah.
Simple stuff.
I shouldn't have to tell you. I shouldn't have to be like, hey, while I'm doing 50 million things over here, can you just easily pick up this, and that? I shouldn't have to tell you. You're an adult. You know.
I agree.
You gotta train them, girl.
So, yeah, why not just get a dog then or something?
I know. Might as well be by myself. If I'm going to be single, might as well be single. You know?
Yeah. No, I agree. It's just...
Now, at what point do you say, oh, okay, well, I think it's time for me to leave? Over that?
It's a conversation, though.
And
If you're not
here's the
willing to
thing.
have this conversation, then yourself is not adult enough for this relationship either.
You know how people say this generation gives up too quickly?
It's not giving up so quickly. It's just that we don't feel like dealing with shit too. That's what it comes like. Life is fucking a struggle. Why the hell are we trying to make life harder? Like, I should be able to sit down and have a conversation with you and tell you, hey, X, Y, and Z. Do I expect change overnight? Fuck no. Would it be amazing? Hell yeah. But realistically, we know change is not gonna fucking come overnight. It takes like at least a month to freaking develop a habit. So why would I think it's gonna be like?
No.
Now it should be a conversation. I sit you down. We sit down. Hey, this. Okay, está bien. I don't expect you to change. But now, if within a year, we're having this conversation every 2 weeks or every month, you're not changing.
Yeah. I agree, but then sometimes I think, I'm like, yeah, that's like my grandmother. You're giving up too quick. Or you have the person change for like 2-3 months and then they go
right
back to
their
the
way.
same thing.
And
Yeah.
some people do that. They'll change and they'll go right back to what they know. And that's where the whole that's how they were raised mentality kicks in. But if you really and truly want to change, you have to be conscious of yourself. Like, you really have to be like, oh, I just reverted right back. Let me go back to it. It shouldn't take the other person to call you out, because you should realize yourself that you slipped back. And it's fine, because we're human. We're all going to fuck up. We're all going to slide back. But if you're not catching yourself, then you're not really putting thought into it.
Definitely. And I guess maybe that is the truth. It's not going to last, because women put up with a lot of shit back in the day, and they're not willing to put up with it now.
Because they grew up in a time mind, whereas like the guy brought the money, we deal with everything else. I didn't really have to work. They were taught like, you want to please your man to keep your man. Because women weren't considered equals to men. Now we're like, fuck you. I can get the same job. I can do the same thing. Why do I need you? What?
That's the problem with society right now.
That women think they can do whatever?
Yes.
But men are trying to get pregnant too, so it doesn't just apply to women.
Right, so they can do whatever the fuck a man can do. They can do the same thing.
Absolutely. But if I'm coming home,
Like,
we can actually do it, and we could probably do it better.
see, now y'all fool yourselves. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, I'm answering what you guys are talking about.
No.
That's the problem with society right now.
But who said it's a problem?
But it's okay. I understand what you're saying. It is kind of a problem, but it doesn't apply only to women. Now you have men thinking like, hey, I can get pregnant.
Yeah.
I can carry the
That's
fucking
true.
baby.
I agree with you.
I can
Do this.
Yeah. It's to the point that people are like, I'm playing both genders.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Exactly. And there are a lot of men that rather stay home and take care of the kids than go out and work a 9 to 5.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay, because now we're sharing the burden. You want to stay home with the kid? I'm fine with that. I'll go work.
Exactly.
But what I will not stand for is to have a man work and I'm working. We both put in 40 hours a week, but then I got to come home and do everything, and you're not helping me. So might as well not be with you. Might as well kick rocks and let me do this shit by myself. Because I obviously don't need you. You're not helping me anyway. You're coming home, you're playing on the PlayStation, you're playing on the Xbox, you're going out with your friends, you're doing whatever, but I'm sitting cooking, cleaning, taking out the garbage, basically doing everything that I need to do, Googling how to fix a car, and you're not, you know?
Yeah.
That's not, to me, that's not a problem with a society. It's you not doing what you got to do, and I'm doing what I'm doing by myself.
I think a lot of relationships is where, I want to say like when we first hook up or whatever, it's like a lot of it's physical. Like there's not a lot of meaningful conversations to figure out in the beginning. Like, are we compatible? Because some people are like, this is my culture. This is how we grew up. This is how I was taught. Like, this is what I saw.
I can talk about this because I'm Hispanic. Even though a lot of people want to tell me I'm not. Why do you laugh over there when I said that? I'm Hispanic. And in a Hispanic household, generally back then, your husband just worked. And then you did everything.
The Mexicans are like that.
Mexicans are like that too. It's the Spanish.
Nah, like I legit.
It is, yeah.
Foreigners are like that too. Like, oh, the wife is going to stay home and she's going to do everything. Right?
Yeah,
But what happens when she's not staying just home and you're not bringing in the bread? Now she's got to work too. You're working, I'm working.
if you're both working, then you both gotta share.
You have to say
responsibilities, huh?
right. It's like I tell my husband all the time. I'm like, I'll stay home. I'll take care of the house. I'll take care of the bill. I'll take care of the laundry. I'll cook every day. But you gotta work. I'm not gonna work
And do everything.
and do everything in the house as well.
So you're seeking a partnership where it's 50-50. Like, I put in the effort, you put in the effort.
Right.
Which makes sense to me.
Because technically a relationship is a partnership. We gotta do it together. Now, mind you, if you wanna pay all the bills and make sure my nails get done every 2 weeks and my hair gets done every 6 weeks and you can pay for that and I can still stay home, then by all means I will be the little housewife that you are used to back in your culture.
I am cheap. My hair does not need to be get done. I'm not allowed to have nails. So
Same.
I was like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm cheap. Someone adopts me, please.
I'm low maintenance.
Yeah, very low maintenance. I live in leggings.
Wait a
and
minute.
PJs if you let me.
I'm pretty cheap. That's the only thing. I like to get my nails done every 2 weeks and my hair every 6 to 8 weeks done.
Yeah.
That's about all I really ask for. But if you can do that, then I'll stay home and be the pretty little wife that you want me to be. But I will not stay home and do all of that and work a 40-hour week.
So
It's
they
not
want you to
happening.
be wife and mom.
Right. So if I'm going to be mom and wife and worker, you're going to be worker, you're going to be a houseman, and you're going to do what you need to do. I ain't doing it by myself. And if I got to do it by myself, might as well be by myself.
I agree with you there. Like, there's no point in being in a relationship if you're gonna do everything on your own.
Right.
There really isn't. At least I don't.
That's why I don't
see.
cook and clean.
But there's people that be making. But here's the problem, though. You have people that view marriage as the ultimate goal. Like,
Yeah.
they don't care what they gotta give up or do just to be like, look at this ring, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm,
It's like-
I'm wife or husband. Like,
I know it's hard. It's gonna sound harsh what I'm gonna say, but
Okay, say it.
I don't care. These little girls nowadays that have a guy, they're fighting for the guy. Like, they're fighting on social media, they're fighting in real life. They're for a man. Okay, he don't work, you support him. He doesn't help you with the kids. So you're doing everything by yourself. Why are you fighting for this man?
just invite her to live and y'all can split the household.
He,
At this point, you know what?
you can't split the household. He doesn't work.
I
She's
know, but I'm
maintaining
saying
him.
no, but I'm saying the other woman
Oh.
that they're right. Come live with me.
Yes.
We can share the chores, and
We
you
could-
can have him too.
Yeah,
Just
you can
fuck
have
it.
him Sunday through Wednesday. I'll have him Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I have him only Mondays because fuck this shit. I will find someone else to entertain me the rest of the time.
Like, I can't sit there and I can't fight for a man who doesn't do shit for me. It's just that plain and simple. So when I see that, I'm like,
But that's the thing. Some people put such an importance to titles. That's the reason why you have single parents a relationship, because that title is so important to be able to be like, no, I'm
He's
with
with
my
me.
husband, or no,
he's with me.
Yeah.
What did he do for you?
or no, both of us are there.
And it's even the same for a man. I'm not only saying it as a girl to a man, or I'm saying it from a man's point of view. If you're working, right, and your wife is at home and she does nothing all day, and you gotta come home to a dirty house, you gotta cook dinner, you gotta take care of the kids, there's a problem. Why are you with her? Because you could get choked from anybody else. You don't have to stay with that person, especially if she's not doing anything for you. Just because she's the mother of your children?
Some people will try to stick it out just to be able to be like, I'm still with the mother of my child, or the parent of my child. How about that?
I'm here to be in my worst behavior. What are we talking about? Well, that topic is done.
Yep.
It was
Being a single parent in a relationship.
in a relationship, even though you're in a relationship. And so, to me, it's the same thing. Girls, stop fighting for a man that ain't doing shit for you. Men, stop keeping a woman in your house if you are doing everything in that relationship.
You can keep me. I was like, that's not kind of shit. We both know that ain't gonna work.
It's not. Stop fighting for what doesn't look en basura. I don't know how to say that in
Garbage?
English. Yeah, if it's garbage, it's garbage. You don't pick up garbage from the floor and bring it into your house. Like, I did that once and never again. You learned your lesson, didn't you? Anyways, let's go to our third and final topic of the night.
Oh, if you could go back to high school, would you? And if you did, would you change it or not? Ooh.
What's that? Go ahead. You answer. Because I definitely would. I would go back to high school and I would change a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff I would change. Yeah.
High school was kinda... My freshman year in high school was fucking traumatizing.
Was it?
Oh, man.
See, 10th and 11th grade, I was suspended most of the time. So that's something, I know, so bad. So that's definitely something that I would change. I would have changed that.
I was absent a lot. Like, if Patrick will tell you, he'd be like, out of the 4 years, Wendy attended like maybe a year. How I fucking passed is well, actually, I know, I did the work. I just show up once a week, like, here's the work.
If you could go back to high school and change anything, would you?
I would go back.
I would.
Would you go
I
back?
love high school. I think I had.
You had great high school
I
experience?
did.
I do not. See, I would go back just for better grades.
I would? Yeah.
I would, for sure.
I would just go back for better grades.
Hell nah, I don't need a re-up on that.
Listen, when I graduated, years later, like when I started going to college, I was like, had to get my transcripts, and swore I was like an A and B student. I was like, oh, I can't wait to get my transcripts. I know I did so good in high school. I was so gassed up, like, oh, I got A's and B's throughout the whole 4 years. Girl, I didn't get not one A or a B. I got C's and D's, and I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. I swore I was like the best student ever. No.
Like,
Yeah.
I would change the group of people I hung with. I would change, literally, I would do, like right now, I'm a cardiovascular technologist. If I know what I know now, I'll go back to high school. I would do so well. I would get so many scholarships. I would go, and I would be a cardiovascular doctor instead of in the nursing field.
Exactly.
Yep.
I would not hang around with the people that I hung out with. Not at all. Because they would be like, yo, she looked at you wrong. I'd be like, oh, she did. No, they'd be like, yep, we're coming too. And it's funny because I hang around people that still do that to me now. They'll be like, yo. I'll be like, oh, let's do this. But I would change that in high school. I would change who I hung out with, what I did.
Like, if you met me in high school, I was like, right now, you would not, like, physically, maybe I was a lot skinnier and I did not have any of this. that came from pregnancy. You would not guess. I was super quiet, like a wallflower if I was there.
You quiet?
Yo. Like, that's why when people are like, I remember you from high school, I'm like, how? Because I did not even speak.
Are you sure? Because you could say you didn't speak, but this one over here thought she was an A and B student. You're probably thinking you're a wallflower and you were the loudest one.
I can literally pull up a friend and he'll tell you, like, he had to harass me to get me to talk to him in class because I wouldn't talk to people. People would try to talk to me and I'm like, and he'd be like, so, and I'd be like, yeah, okay. Like, leave me alone. I was like, and it didn't help that I didn't send school, so I didn't fucking know people either. So I'm like, why are you talking to me? Like, I don't know who you are.
You didn't have family that was in the same school as you?
I'm the oldest of 4. We moved out here from New York. I really didn't have family up here.
Okay, so you didn't have no siblings?
Like, they were in Allen 9th freshman year when I was my senior year.
Oh, okay.
By then, I already fucked up my attendance.
Folks be revising what they thought they was in high school. I mean, that's what folks.
I didn't even know you in high school. At least I don't think I did. Like,
I'm not. Yeah.
What year did you graduate? Because I did 2004.
2002.
I was like,
I didn't even know you.
Exactly. I was like, when I tell you I was fucking invisible, I was fucking invisible.
I was mad quiet and had decent grades. You see?
Yeah,
but so you wouldn't go back now and correct those decent grades to better grades and maybe do something sooner?
I'm gonna be honest, I probably do the same shenanigans I did. I would have put more effort in my homework. Because honestly, I felt, this is how I felt. If I could pull the grades I did without fucking showing up and doing the bare minimum, then fuck it. Why do I need to bother? I would just put a little extra and still not show up.
I mean, I definitely feel like I would do, no, I would not. I would not because half the time I was always suspended. I would probably refrain from doing
suspended,
that.
And I never got detention.
No.
You know why? Because the one when I saw was late, I turned back around.
No, I mean, Mr. Falco saved me from a lot. He was a great principal for me. He went to court with me when they were trying to send me to the bad kid school.
Not building, sorry. Vista.
Vista. No, it was right next to the hospital back then. He went. I had great grades. It was just my attitude, and I feel like if I could have tweaked that in high school, I mean, I probably would have came with me as an adult, and so many more doors and opportunities and stuff like that would have happened for me.
There is 2 teachers that I will forever never forget: Mr. Pichardo and Mr. O'Boyle.
Mr. Pichardo was pretty cute, wasn't he?
He was. I think he was Spanish. He
was cute.
He traumatized me. Between them 2, my freshman year, I fucking hated teachers. All the girls were crushing on him, and I used to sit there like, I fucking hate you.
Nah, I wouldn't change anything. Maybe after, but not during. So maybe not. He said maybe after. So after what? Like after high school, like college? So let's talk about that. So you would change college or who you were with? Like what would you change after? But I would definitely change high school.
Yeah, the path. Career path or whatever.
Yeah, it's career path, how you look at. But remember, it's knowing what you know now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have the same
knowledge,
then there's no point in me going back.
I mean, if I'm going back with
because
this
I'm
knowledge,
gonna make the same mistakes again.
if I'm going back with this knowledge, I'm invested in shit. I'm like, put this money on this.
I'd be like, yeah, I don't want to go to school for this. I want to go to school for that. Can you open up my 401k early? And I'd like to put in some stocks because you know it now as an adult. Yeah, a few moves during college I would change, but that's it.
I'm gonna be honest, school is not for me. It really isn't. I don't have the patience to sit there and listen to someone drone on. And if it was free, maybe. Like now as an adult, I'd go back if it was free, maybe. But if I have to pay for it, I'm like, fuck you. It's a business. You're not really teaching me shit. You just want me to pay for a piece of paper. I'm not doing it.
Right. I mean, I would definitely. I know I would change a lot in high school. And you probably wouldn't see what we have right here. This fabulous thing right here sitting.
This outspoken thing took years to fucking get it right.
You need to go back to high school and change a whole lot.
When I tell you in high school, I hung out with white people.
You would love his class then because he teaches you for free.
I was like, wait. I was like,
she wants to go back to school as long as it's free, and he said she would love his class then.
He didn't say it was free. Maybe it's the subject he's teaching.
No, it's free because you said.
Is it free?
I'll go back if it's free. And he was like, then you should take my class. It's free. Special sessions.
He did not say all that.
Yeah, look, it's coming. It's going now.
Those over here making up stories. So you go back to school to be a storyteller, huh? You be writing books, an English teacher?
I would write different books. Anyway.
Oh my god. You should teach us like a marketing class. See?
He said I didn't say it would be free.
I ain't say it would be free. Calm down. I mean, wait. She said I would go back to school if it was free, because it's all just a business. And you say you would love my class then. No.
No, don't tell us about a story.
No, you can keep your stories to yourself. We don't like your stories. They're long and they never end.
Leave us on cliffhangers.
Yeah. Going back to if you would change stuff in high school, would you change? I know it's a little bit off subject.
Go ahead.
But how about changing? I know everybody says, I love my kids. They're the best thing. That's the only thing I wouldn't change. But would you change your father or mother?
Oh, of my child. I'm
Yeah.
like, what? I can change my parents? And fuck yeah.
Why I'll shut down my Netflix streams. I'm sorry. Yours would be like 103 seasons long.
103. It's gonna be like
seasons.
Oh.
So each season has like 12 episodes.
Day of Our Lives. That's been going on for like
Forever.
16 years or something.
Yeah. With that being said, there's a lot of people that have children while they're in high school.
Yeah, I had mine right after high school.
I had mine like 2 years after high school. But would you change your path from high school? We all know. We all know you love your kids. Oh, my kids are great.
Yeah.
We all know that. We all love our kids. Well, some of us do. There's other people that don't, and they just try to get rid of them however means they have to. But we're not talking about that right now. But of course, saying now you don't know your child.
Yeah.
You don't know this thing. Would you just know you're going to have a kid with that person. But you know how they are now. Would you go back and change it?
That's a tough one.
You would still have kids. They just probably wouldn't be the same kids.
Yeah, and it would be different.
Obviously. And I'm not saying you don't love your kid because I love him. Can I get him again? I don't know. I might change that as well, but I'm just kidding.
I know, I get it. That's why I'm just thinking. I'm like, ooh, but who knows what path would I taken if I had not, like if I didn't have a kid.
Right.
Like
it could have been a way better path.
Or I could be locked the fuck up.
Yeah, or it could be an even more shit.
Who's to say I don't become like a crackhead or something?
Exactly.
Like you don't know.
Yeah, if you have nothing to live for, you might think.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, oh, I ain't got no responsibilities.
Exactly.
I could try this.
I love my kids, but I probably
love kids.
I love my kids. Obviously, I love my kids. That's non-debatable here.
But
I love my
like,
kids.
the upside.
But I definitely think I would think, knowing what I know, I would change my whole path and just see what other path
I don't know.
would be available to me.
I wouldn't want, because honestly, if I had a kid now, I'd be fucking exhausted.
Yeah, no, that would not.
Like, you know, people are like, I'm gonna wait till like my 30s to have a baby, and I'm like, what?
I want to
even
be
have
like
energy.
45 years old carrying a diaper bag and a carrier, and you can't even carry your own limbs without them popping.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't know.
You bend down, it's like.
I like the fact that I was able to keep up and run with my kids back then. Because I can tell you right now, I can't run for shit. I'm like this half a block in.
Wendy the Crackhead is a lit rap name. Because I really don't feel, you know how people are like, oh, my kid changed me. My kid didn't change me.
My kid definitely did change me.
See, my kid didn't change me. It was 2 years later, after high school, after all of that. I mean, I graduated and I had just had my son. And he was like a month old after I graduated. I would totally I would change everything just to see what different path.
So,
hi, beauty.
So, like, I'm going to be honest, like, I'm not fully up there. At least I wasn't back then. But at least when I was a kid, I'm like, I can't do as much stupid shit because there's consequences.
Because you have your children.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't know. Because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, hey, I'm completely sane because I'm fucking flawed as hell. And slightly crazy. But
I don't know. I think I would. I keep saying this because I don't want nobody coming back to me like, you inbox me, you don't love your kid. I love my kid. I see what I have. But if I could go back, I would change it. I would change it. I would change my whole life.
And then, you know what? I think it's like motherhood is looked at negative. If you say something, it's like, oh, you're not proud of being a mother. You don't enjoy being a mother. It's not that. It's just we don't regret it.
And too, when you're young and you have a kid, obviously it's not planned, right? You don't have this whole life like, oh, my 30-year plan, I'm gonna have a kid now, and it happens when you're young and you basically deal with the hand that was handed to you and you keep it moving and you go through your struggles. But yeah, for me, if I could have waited an extra 5 years, obviously went to college right away, got my degree, did what I had to do, and then have kids, I would definitely keep my same 3 kids, just waited like 5 years.
Basically, I do want to keep my same kids.
You just wait a couple years.
I'll wait a couple years. But then now, who knows if you don't meet the spouse that you had them children with, I would probably still be okay with it because I'm going to have my kids later on and I would love them. And I would love them.
Those kids, but you would definitely, I would have waited 5. If I was smart enough and somebody would have told me better, like, listen, you're too young to have kids, like I tell my kids now, I would have waited 5, 6, 7 years and then had a kid.
Or like I said, knowing what you know now.
Yeah.
You're going to go back with the knowledge that you have now. I'd be like, I'm going, no, let me get this scholarship, let me get this, let me get that.
Like,
Yeah.
not planned, and you just, I think, I don't know if there's anybody that would say that they wouldn't. Like, who would say, nope, I want to have a kid when I'm 17 and 18 and struggle and deal with that and then get a career when I'm 40.
Yeah.
If you're saying that, it's because you're still like 21.
It's like, I don't know.
I
It's
do.
tough. Because I had a friend, well, not, I don't want to say a friend, someone I know. The kid is the reason why her life turned around.
Yeah.
And honestly, she's got like a fucking master's now and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, if I didn't have that kid, she wouldn't have turned her life around. And she had her kid like at 16. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, some of us are like, oh,
But
but if you're
remember,
going back with the
but if
knowledge.
you're going back with the knowledge that you have now,
Yeah.
That's true.
you're not gonna fuck up your life.
Yeah.
because you're gonna
Because
take
you
a path.
know
Yeah.
you know what you did wrong, or you
Yeah.
know what you wanted to change.
All right, so question: if you could go back, but you wouldn't keep your knowledge, would you still go back?
I probably would,
With no knowledge?
with no knowledge of what you know now. I would probably go back. Maybe wait.
I mean, yeah, I would definitely go back.
I would go back. I had
At
fun
least
in high
5 years,
school.
6 years.
I mean, I
to
did.
become a
I
mom.
definitely would not go back, especially without the knowledge. I'm like, what the fuck? So I can relive all that shit? I'm good.
I would go. I would probably make the same mistakes that I made, but just to
Just with protection.
yeah. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to tonight's show.
He said that shit get him.
Nah, shit's ghetto.
Ghetto high school?
High school was not. It was good.
Now it is. Now back
Now
then.
it's ghetto, yeah.
Now it's ghetto. I wouldn't want to go to school now. I wouldn't want to go back to high school now.
No.
I used to tell them kids, yo, if I was to go to high school with you guys right now, I would have been expelled.
Yeah.
Day one.
Yeah, like I don't want to go to. I want to go to high school when we went back to high school. That was lit.
don't
I
wanna go to
remember
high school then
secu-
either.
I remember skipping school and having a whole security guard chase us, and we hid on the porch, face down like this, and you could hear him. Come out, I know where you went. And I'm like, bro, you just walked by me. You don't know where I went. You keep walking up the same alley, and you're trying to find us. Like, I had a great, Zell in 10th grade, we had like 100 bomb threats. Yeah, I was in 9th grade. Oh, listen. So for that, I came out in the morning call. Morning call asked, do you feel safe? I can't remember this. Do you feel safe going to school? And if you know who's doing this, would you speak up? I'm in the morning call. I think I even have it. I gotta look under my bed. Saying,
She said under my bed.
I do. I think I have it under my bed, so I came out in the morning call. It says, if you know something and you say something, you're a snitch, and snitches get stitches. No, my mom was all like, do you see this? I'm like, yeah, mom, stitches get stitches. She was like, no, cállate la boca. You're not even supposed to say anything. I'm like, well, if I knew who it was, I wouldn't say anything anyways. I'm like, that's snitching.
He remembers that.
And I was like, no, you don't say anything. I had fun. We had bomb threats. We had a whole lot. So you making my point, shit was mad ghetto. Ghettos now where they have freaking big shit thrown to the principal and petitions signed against your principal. That shit is ghetto. I don't even want to be
It was
school.
ghetto in a fun way. Like,
It was ghetto fun.
I was ghetto scary.
My whole 9th grade year, I never had to do freaking work. I was too busy outside with my friends chilling because there was a bomb threat. Like, hey.
Well, all I remember is the teacher making me stand on the desk in 9th grade.
Stand on your desk?
Stand on his desk.
For what? What did you do?
I didn't know. Why is that
Okay.
your first reaction?
Okay, wait a minute. Because you just said you were a wallflower and now you said the teacher made you stand on the desk. Obviously, you weren't quiet.
No, that's why he made me stand on the desk. Because I was quiet. He was mad that I wouldn't speak up. So he made me stand on his desk to like overcome my shyness. And was like, speak to the class. Tell them something. they
I would have
don't
been
know.
like,
Give her that emoji. That emoji.
Yeah.
Hell no. I swear to God, I went, every time I was in that class,
social media outside fighting.
Why you weren't even in my classes? Like you're like 3 years older than me, I think. Maybe, possibly, I don't know.
I don't know. If I was in 9th and you're 2 years younger than me,
Yeah.
yeah, you were in 7th.
So like, no.
Yeah, so you were out of school already.
But if you know Mr. Boyles,
Grandpa, buddy.
I want to send him like a message and be like, look, I'm not quiet anymore. Thanks to you.
Guys, have a great weekend. Have a great night. Don't forget to submit your topics on Tuesday. Remember, they stay anonymous. Nobody knows that you submit them, except me and her, because obviously it's our show.
And we're not gonna judge you.
No, I'm sorry. Next weekend, next Friday, we are not. You have to remember, November and December, it's holidays, hiatus. So we're not on Friday. We're on the following Friday.
You got a kid on the way. Congratulations.
Have a great weekend, guys. That was a good one.
White House, I'm like,